So, if I could do it all over again, what would I do different? And I don't want to get stuck in woulda, shoulda, coulda land, but there's a lot that can be learned from yesterday, applied to tomorrow, today. It could be a beautiful thing. I would get a mentor. I would get a mentor if I could do it all over again. I would scour the earth if I had to have a mentor, to mentor me, someone that was what I wanted to be, someone that had been where I was getting ready to go, somebody older, wiser, to guide me on my journey in life. Now, you can say that rightfully so, that we all have fathers. Fortunately, some of us have access to our dads. I know there's a lot of people out there who don't. Hopefully, you have an uncle or an aunt or somebody like that close to you. But that's not what I'm talking about. I had a dad who tried to talk to me, who tried to mentor me, but he was my dad first. He was so close to the situation that I don't know if he had the proper perspective to really mentor me. He had all the love in the world. He has helped me. He's gone further and actually enabled me, probably out of love, but probably wasn't the best thing. See, my dad, with all the best of intentions, um, just couldn't speak my language. And it's not all his fault. I don't think I would have listened. I don't think I could have listened. And I'm not trying to make excuses. What I'm trying to say is I don't think your dad can be your mentor unless you want to follow in the footsteps of your father. My dad had one job his entire life. He worked at United Parcel Service. And he got that job by accident. At the interview, the fella he was with, two of them showed up for this kind of work interview thing. And at the end of the night, one of them got the job. And a few days later or a week later, my dad said to the guy who hired him, "Why did I get the job and not the other guy?" And the guy said, "Well, you did this and you did that better. And then there was this one thing you did and that sealed the deal and you got the job." And my dad didn't say anything at the time. But he told me that the guy accidentally hired him. Everything that he described in the person that he meant to hire was the other person. So my dad sees me getting ready to take off into life, and he really, he couldn't care one way or another if I got a college education. My parents, for them being successful, was doing anything other than working in the coal mines. My grandparents both were coal miners. My family's from West Virginia. They came to Columbus, Ohio to get away from the depressed area of West Virginia that they lived in. So, no college educations, but a lot of work ethic and a lot of love and a lot of good intentions. But my dad's advice to me was learn a trade. And I wasn't interested in being a plumber or hanging drywall or laying tile, but that's how I've made a living several times in my life. Not starting a company, but working for my cousins or my uncles, hanging drywall, laying tile, doing landscaping. I did have a landscaping company for one summer. And so anyway, I was heading into life and I was wanting to do something that no one that I knew had ever done. Number one, being self-unemployed, as I unfortunately refer to it as, because I don't know, it's it's a mixed bag, because I'm kind of it's all I don't know now I look back at that term like self-unemployed, and it's like I don't want to be self-unemployed anymore. I want to be self-employed because I really feel self-unemployed right now and it doesn't feel good. But the point is I would have a mentor. And let's say that your dream is to be a fighter pilot. Well, you don't have a choice. You have to go into the military to live that dream. And in that system, you'll have a mentor. It may not be called a mentor, he may be called a supervisor or an instructor, but you'll have somebody to guide you through being successful at living your dream of being a fighter pilot. What happens when you kind of emerge onto the workforce or into the workforce and you don't know what you want to do, and then you start being successful at accomplishing goals, your dreams, your ideas? For me, it was music very early on. I wanted to be in music, and I got a record deal, and if I told you all the details, which I kind of have in some other videos, it just seemed like meant to be. And the way that I invented my first product, my friend and I invented and patented and started making money on my first product was, every bit of that story was kind of just walking through open doors and wandering into it. There was no planning. I didn't say, I'm going to invent something someday. Landing on YouTube was just another one of those things I just kind of wandered happenstancely into. Whether it was opening my retail store, I never dreamed about. I just kept doing things. I invented this extrusion process for making candles, and I'd never, I know nothing about candles or extruding anything. It just, I've told some of the stories about how these things have happened and some of the things that I've done. But there was no way, there was nobody around me that could speak into my life. And I don't need another, candle maker or another inventor necessarily. I just need an entrepreneur. I need somebody who's kind of lived life without a safety net. I don't have a pension. I don't have retirement. I don't have supervisors and managers. And, I'm not trying to build a big company with a whole bunch of employees that can kind of, or partners that can kind of guide me through life. And the partners that I have had in life, in businesses, and I've always done things with people, collaborators, which had, a lot of my success, a lot of the success that I have had, of course, was in part due to them, and their talents and what they brought to the project or to the collaboration. But what I'm saying is they were kind of always my friends first. And once again, they were on a journey that they had never taken because they were kind of helping me put an idea into place. Because I've always been at the front of all the projects that I've ever done. It was like I started them, or it was my idea, or I was the driving force, the inspiration, the motivation. And my friends always had real jobs and would help me on the side get things done. You know what I'm saying, blah, blah, blah. The point is they weren't that helpful to me either. Now my kids are a little bit different. My son Chase, for instance, entered a contest this year, a photo contest, and won first place. Well, I did photography for a living for years. Maybe not years, maybe like a year and a half. I opened up a little photography studio in my parents' basement. I built the whole thing out, a white wall, lights, everything, because I was in high school, or actually I was in my early 20s, because I had a job. I was a customer service representative for Victoria's Secret catalog, and I got half my clients from the employees. No, not from the fashion models. I wish! It was the employees and then their kids and their grandkids, and I started doing senior pictures for my friends and their kids that went to school, and I turned it into a little business. And I got bored out of my mind, and I got tired of dealing with everybody, and it was like I realized early in life that I didn't want to do art or build things for other people, and when you take someone's picture, they decide if they like the picture or not. I wanted to kind of do these things as artistic expressions and find a way of making a living doing that. Just like when I started painting, I was painting and I thought they looked good, and I knew if I took my paintings to a gallery, nobody would ever, where did you learn to paint? Where did you go to school? Have you ever sold a painting before? No, 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 no. So I opened up my own art gallery and sold hundreds of paintings. There were houses all over, well, mostly in Ohio, but they're everywhere, other places, with big abstract original works from me. And I haven't painted in years, and I never painted before. It was just like, I just did it. It was fun. I did it for a few years, and, I was like, I don't want to be a painter. How do I find a mentor to live a life like this? Because I don't just, it's not like I'm looking for advice on how to accomplish my dreams. I'm looking for advice on how to shape the world, my world, how to shape a world around me that can help me be successful. And a lot of that mentorship is in planning and managing my finances. I can't tell you how important it is if you choose a life where you're kind of going to be out there on your own. I mean, doing anything, managing those finances, your money, in a sense, is your safety net. Because you're going from project to project to project, and in between projects, if some of those don't work, and trust me, although I have always worked very, very, very hard on everything I've ever tried to accomplish, there is a certain amount of luck involved. And I'm not always lucky. In the last few years, I've been real unlucky. But I had a mentor in my life, somebody that could have gotten through to me, somebody that could have talked to me and literally argued with me and just said, I'm not letting go of you. I believe in you too much. I love you too much. You asked me to help, and you're getting ready to make a mistake. How do you get somebody to invest themselves that much in your life? You have to ask them in. You have to allow them to. I mean, let's say that you're having addiction issues. You get into a lot of people get into programs to get help, and in those programs you get a sponsor. A sponsor is somebody who made it through to the other side. They have some time in sobriety, and they can share what they learned with you. They can help keep you accountable. But if you stop calling your sponsor, it is not their job to come to your house, and track you down. It's only their job, to talk to you and sit with you if you're willing and able. I wasn't willing and I wasn't able. And I didn't even have somebody except my parents or friends or cousins or relatives. And to me, they were all aliens. I love them. It's not that they were stupid. They just didn't see the world the way I saw it. They weren't experiencing the things I was experiencing. They, had never done anything like this before. And in a sense, it was exciting. And I just, we've talked about this. I just started feeling invincible and bouncing around, and I had enablers who were kind of in awe of what I was doing and supported me all the time, but very few people would talk critically into my life. So this whole idea of crowdsourcing my life, in a sense, is me looking for a mentor. Now, I would love it. I would love it if somebody watching this video would contact me and say, I would like to be your mentor. I'm an older person. This is what I've done. I believe in you. But, you've got some weaknesses. And if you will allow me to speak into your life, I can help you out. I would love that. That's what I'm looking for. That's what this whole thing's about. But I got to be honest, I'm not sure if there's anybody out there like that. And I'm not positive if that's the only way to do it. So I'm thinking to myself, in a sense, that's kind of what crowdsourcing is. Only between all of you, the hundreds of you out there that are watching and commenting, thank you so much, that, there are different areas of expertise that are out there. And the problem with this whole crowdsourcing thing, of it having really any value, is the level of detail and time it takes to really, have an impact on someone's life, that someone being me. You know, you can leave a little comment here and you can do this and that, but I mean, how persuasive is that going to be? Well, for me, it's persuasive if I see it repeated over and over and over. That's the wisdom of the crowd speaking to me. I can choose to listen or not listen, but seeing how I'm wildly ambitious and I don't want to end up here again and I'm really looking for help, you know, I'm pretty open to listening. But for it to be really helpful, it probably needs to be more dialogue. I don't know any other way to do that than through videos. I would love it if people would really step up to the camera and make some videos and talk to me. Talk to me the way I'm talking to you. Let's have a conversation. You know, I get more detail in private messages, but that feels private to me. And I'm kind of out here in public. I like the private messages, but I like the public ones better because those messages can then be scrutinized by the crowd, by you. So if somebody posts a video and says, you should do this, you should do that, somebody else can leave a comment on that video and say, don't listen at all. And here's why. And it really, the openness of it is where the safety is. And then what if this works for me? What if you guys see me come through this and really learn something valuable and give you the kind of details that you know that help you understand what's going on and possibly learn something yourself. If you see me go through this, and it's not just like entertainment, it's not just kind of like, you know, the self-help 45-minute self-help seminar, but you really feel invested in it over time, and you watch all these videos and you read all these comments and you see these video responses, you could then not only get something from it, but you could start your own YouTube channel. You could crowdsource your life, and trust me, where I'm at now is not a lot of people. I mean, there's a few hundred people watching me, and a couple dozen. I mean, my videos are barely getting 50 or 60 comments, and half those are mine responding. So it's not, you know, it's not like I have one up on everybody, and yes, I did at one time, but I don't have 10,000 views on every video and 1,000 comments. You know, if I get this, it's because I started small. I'm back here. Nobody's helping me. No big YouTubers are giving me any shout outs. I mean, I'm out here working it, and it's not, you know, it's not big. It's not growing. I'm not any better than you, is my point. I do have a head start. I do have at least a few hundred people watching, and I have a few dozen commenters, because it seems to be a lot of the same people leaving comments. And I'm so grateful. I'm so appreciative. I'm not trying to belittle it. What I'm trying to say is it's more than most, but it's not like I'm so much farther ahead than you, where you couldn't do this too, is my point. I mean, who knows? I mean, maybe we start a website, you know, crowdsourcingourlives.com, and then it's like the people that have gotten the most help from the crowd give back to the other parts of the crowd. I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe that's just what video blogging is, and I'm just trying to put a label and start a business. See, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to start a website. I don't want to do any of that. But I always feel a sense of, well, if I'm getting something from it, I want to be helpful to help other people kind of prosper from it. I don't mean always financially. I just mean for it to enrich your life. I mean, look, I made a lot of mistakes on YouTube. I've done a lot of things wrong on YouTube. But at the core, even though, like I said, I got some baggage with this, but at the core of what I was trying to do when I left YouTube, besides some of the negative stuff and the arrogance and the bad attitude, yes, but part of that mix was me wanting to do something for the community, because I wasn't real happy with how things were going on YouTube and how they were treating the community. So there was little bits and pieces of me trying to say, well, if I have all this, and if people want it so bad, but I realize it's impossible for them to really actually do that, maybe there's something, you know, maybe there's something I can do. Anyway, I see my neighbor, he's getting here and walk into the door. Jeff! Come in. I'm recording a video. I'm video blogging, but I'm done, right? I'm done. Okay, so you heard my video. That's my Friday video. You want to say hi?
No.
No. I don't blame you. I don't even want to be on here right now. No, I'm
Too nice of that.
It's too nice. It's so beautiful out. It's an amazing day.
Yeah.
And we're getting ready to do a fire.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're going to build a fire tonight. We're going to hang out, probably drink some coldies.
Yeah, maybe. One or two.
So anyway, this is your Friday vlog. I'll see you guys on Monday. I want your feedback, your comment, your video responses. I want it all. This is a nice long video. It's 21 minutes. So there you go. You have all weekend to watch it. I will see you guys on Monday morning.